Live from our studios, somewhere in cyberspace, it's Beats and Eats, a happy hour for your mind. The virtual lounge is open, so come inside, grab a stool, and your drink of choice. Make mine a Guinness. And now, here are your hosts, Ty Ray and Nick Gelso.
The virtual lounge is open. Ty Ray, Nick Gelso. Another edition of Beats and Eats. And Nick, we go back to our roots today. This is a foodie podcast with a big star from the cooking channel. Vinny Guadagnino is on our show. Vinny and his mom tearing it up.
Nice Italian guy.
Great
nice
guy.
Italian guy.
Vinny and Ma Eat America. This is right up my alley, Nick. They go on the road. Vinny and his mom go on the road trying different types of cuisine. Vinny's mom came to the country from Sicily, basically stuck on Staten Island, cooking for her family. All she knows how to do is cook Italian. Nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that.
I love Italian food.
That's what I was raised on. What I was raised on, right, Tay?
There is nothing better than Italian food, so you are very lucky. And, of course, I come from a somewhat Italian family, so I'm familiar with it as well. But I can't go wrong. People laugh at me, Nick. I go to an Italian restaurant. What do I order? Spaghetti and meatballs. That's it.
Yeah.
Because I figure
when you go to as long as when you go to a pizza parlor, you're not ordering spaghetti and meatballs.
No, of course.
Because you know you're getting like the pizza sauce on your spaghetti.
Yeah, no, of course I don't do that. But I just figure if the restaurant gets spaghetti and meatballs right, well, then they're going to get everything else right. So the next time I go, then I'll try something different. But Vinny and his mom traveling the country, it's Vinny and Ma Eat America, and it's on the cooking channel. And the great chemistry between these two is something to behold. And Nick, when I watched this show, I actually thought of you and your mom, and we've done shows about her cooking.
Yeah, I mean, she's actually been on with us. Remember she came on to talk about the ricotta cookies.
I remember that. So that's what made me think about getting Vinny on the show. And, of course, Vinny shot to superstardom by being a member of, the Jersey Shore.
The Jersey Shore.
Snooki in the Situation.
Yeah, where's the Situation these days?
Jail? I don't know. We'll have to
that's funny. I'll tell you what destroyed his career. The Donald Trump celebrity roast destroyed his career.
Just brutal. I remember that like it was yesterday.
Me too.
So not funny on that
show. So bad.
Oh, it was horrible. And he was torched on that show.
Torched. Now, you know who was great was Snoop. Snoop was great on that. So was Larry King was great on that. Larry King was great.
We'll have to ask Vinny if he stays in touch with any of his old castmates. But let's get him on the line, Nick.
Let's do it, man.
Whoa. Who said you could touch that dial? Nick and Ty will be right back with more Beats and Eats.
Vinny, it's Ty Ray, Nick Gelso from Beats and Eats. How you doing, sir?
Thanks for having me, guys. I appreciate it.
You bet. Love the show, man. Love the show with your mom. Vinny and Ma Eat America. I've been watching it. All it does is make me hungry, all these different destinations you go to. And your mom's cooking looks absolutely amazing. You got to tell us about it.
You're hungry. Imagine how I feel. I mean, I at a time in my life where I actually had to start dieting and watch what I eat, it's like all this food just thrown in my face. Between my mom's amazing food at home and then going across the country, it's everyone's dream job, I think. Just like going to the best restaurants all over America, it's just crazy.
So I'm watching you eat barbecue, and of course my mouth is drooling while I'm watching you eat the brisket. And thinking to myself, how the hell do you stay so skinny? How do you make that happen? Did you work out while you guys were on the road?
Well, so basically, throughout my normal life, I kind of do a paleo diet. So I eat a lot of meat and a lot of vegetables, and I enjoy what I eat. I eat a lot of good food. I just stay away from sugar and grains and stuff, and that keeps me thin 95% of the time, but I consider the show when I'm doing it sort of like a big cheat meal, I get to I don't eat full meals. I just take bites. It's hard. It's not fun. I wish I could be like Man versus Food and just eat everything, but I have to control myself. And yeah, it was crazy. I'm eating a burger with donut as the buns and stuff, and I'm just like, oh, I wish I could eat this, but I kind of just like control myself. But there actually were cities where usually there is a stop that I can eat a lot. You know, like when I'm eating, I eat a lot of sushi. I love sushi. I was in Denver, and I loved the wild game over there. Like
me too.
Steak and venison and all that. You know, so there are some that I have to just kind of take little bites of, and then some that I can actually indulge.
And Vinny, you and your mom have such great chemistry on the show. Both Nick and I come from Italian households. We know there's a special relationship between mother and son. Tell us about yours with your mom. It looks just very special.
Yeah, it's special to say the least. Because if you guys are familiar, you can imagine actually doing a TV show that entails traveling around the country with your Italian mom. I mean, I think that's what makes the show so great, is that it's so authentic, and people that have Italian moms, or any immigrant mom, for that matter, they're very closed-minded. They don't like to get out. They're very stubborn. My mom,
unintentionally,
unintentionally funny. Oh my God, she's like the I do like improv, and my mom is the funny man, and I'm the straight man. I just I set her up, and she's just amazing. But she immigrated here to this country, and all she knew was just taking care of her kids. Like, she just never left Staten Island. She just cooked and she cleaned, and I said, Ma, you know what? Listen, I want to do this show. I want to get out. I want to get you out of the kitchen. I want to show you the world. And it gets hard at times because your mom isn't like one of your boys. Your mom is your mom. But I think when we look back on this, we're gonna really enjoy it.
What surprised you about your mom? What did you learn about her during your road trip?
Probably, honestly, just how closed-minded she was. And I don't mean that in a negative way, but my mom never had ranch dressing before.
Wow.
Simple things. Obviously, she never had insect tacos, or she never had, Rocky Mountain oysters. I get that, but just little tiny things that I was discovering for myself. I was like, wait, really? You really never had a piece of sushi? You really never had? It's just crazy, because I have traveled. I have gotten off Staten Island to still meet, to still see people, and it's not just her. I go back to Staten Island, and I see everyone like that, my family and everything, and I'm just like, wow, an island really does isolate you. You don't have to be in, an island in South America, in the middle of the ocean.
Vinny,
you have people that are actually just very sequestered and closed-minded, and
Vinny, not to interrupt you, I could completely relate to this. I live in a small Italian community in northeastern Pennsylvania called Pittston, and everybody kind of talks like the Jersey Shore, and nobody has ever kind of left Pittston, and those that did usually only come back on holidays. But if you go up and down the streets and stop in everybody's houses, it's like a block party with great food and just great culture. But at the same time, it's very amusing when you take them out of their element. Like we would always say, we would go on spring break, and we'd say we were on the beach, right? And we'd say, oh, that's a Pittston person over there. We'd immediately be able to pick out. You couldn't take the Pittston out of the person, right? So that I could relate to that totally.
Exactly. Yeah. And I mean, that's what makes the show so great. So picture having one of those people and now bringing them on a road trip. You'd find all of these new discoveries, and just seeing them. Sometimes I'm on the show, and I'm just I have my mom, in Denver, eating at, shopping at some restaurant, and I love it. I'm like, wow. I'm eating at some restaurant or going shopping or something, and I'm just it's so amazing to just pull her out of there and see her. It's like one of those movies where an alien lands on Earth, and then they're adapting them to the world and stuff, and that's how I feel traveling around with my mom.
Vinny, so tell us what we can look forward to in season 2.
Well, first of all, everyone got to keep, supporting and watching the reruns and everything so that we get more episodes. We're still a little open-ended on that. But if there is a season 2, basically we did 6 episodes and everybody loved it. I mean, like, how could you not? It's like a nice, simple, easy show. We're not trying to, reinvent the wheel. We're just,
I got to tell you, Vinny,
authentic. Yeah,
Vinny, in today's climate, right? So you got reality TV on 24-hour news, which is scary as hell, and to be able to tune over to a reality TV show that can remind me of how I grew up and how my relationship is with my mother, it's kind of refreshing. So I hope that you get renewed for season 2 because the networks and the people need more of this type programming if we're going to continue with the reality show model. We need less of the freaks.
Well, we got to send them this interview.
There you go.
Well,
hey, let's do it.
Feel free.
Vinny,
feel free because this is the truth. Vinny,
I'm going to tell my publicist.
Well, Vinny, your show is, not to sound sappy, but it really is almost a Valentine in some ways to your mom. It's so positive. It's great.
But it's not corny.
No, not at all.
It's not corny at all.
Right. Yeah, no, I mean, I think that number one, like what you were saying, that's what I didn't expect, and I not didn't expect because I didn't think it was going to be good. I didn't realize that people were going to be messaging me after watching it and saying, my mom passed away, and it's bringing back a lot of memories. Thank you so much for doing this for me. This reminds me, and also different races. I mean, different ethnicities.
Oh, I can imagine.
Like we were, especially in today's climate too. Like when we were traveling across the country, my mom is making pasta with the. She's learning Chinese noodle pulling.
Oh, this is
and
great.
her and the Chinese guy that doesn't speak English are like they're like almost like they knew each other their whole life because like food. It mends those barriers, you know what I mean? Food is like brings everybody together, and that's actually how people used to get stuff done back in the day. They used to have meals with each other, and that's why that's how like they got things like decisions made and they were productive. I mean, they broke bread with each other. And now everyone's just like on the internet and like it's just like static,
Hey, Vinny, the biggest decision in Roman Catholic religion was what happened where? At the Last Supper, right? People have been breaking bread for 2,000 years, not only doing business and developing relationships, but also cultivating your family. I mean, no one sits down at a dinner table anymore, So
exactly.
Yeah, man,
and I think
they got
and the other. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, I was saying like to your other point of it not being corny. I think that's why people like the Jersey Shore as well because each one of us we were real. We weren't like these like fake TV hosts, and that and I apply that to this show as well. Like I'm not, and I think it's just refreshing. I love the other shows too on these channels, but you can see that we're not like going in it as TV hosts. Like this is the greatest burger. Like I could do a little bit of that. No, like I could do a little bit of that, but like. My mom is like probably the first like TV like a cooking show host that if she doesn't like the food will just straight up tell the guy to.
You can tell by the look on her face,
like,
right?
Yeah,
the look on her face
you're not
immediately.
Supposed to do that.
Right. Yeah. Man, and I can tell you,
I'm like, this is delicious.
Ty, we could totally relate to that too because in podcasting, if you're not authentic, people dump you quick. They can see right through it, and I think that's right. And that's been part of I think Vinny's success is that authenticism does shine through. And with your mom, holy cow! I'm telling you, it's my mother. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. She goes into corner bars, right? And like she doesn't frequent corner bars. I will once in a while take her to a corner bar, to get a bite to eat, and she'll ask if the dressings are homemade. I'm like, Ma, we're at the friggin' Legion. Are the soups made here? Ma, are you kidding me? No, I won't eat then. Yeah. Okay. Right. And I owned a restaurant for 10 years, so go ahead. God. Yeah, it was crazy.
No, I'm saying my two biggest words are ma, stop. Like I literally She's like my child, and I'm in a constant state of cringing. And like I always say, like, and it's true, you know, because I know this from doing reality in the past, but I'm like, all right, if this is making me cringe right now and this is tough for me, this is going to look good on TV, so I'm still letting go.
That's great. Hey, Vinny, before I ask you about the Knicks, unfortunately, I've got to pay our bills.
Don't even. All right.
Today's podcast brought to you by Blue Apron. Go to blueapron.com/beatsandEats. 3 free meals and free shipping. Let's talk the Knicks now. What the hell happened this year? They were supposed to threaten, right, the Celtics and the Cavaliers, and it has been a disaster.
I just don't think, you know, and again, I listen, we're on a podcast, I'm going to speak openly, and I like Carmelo Anthony. I've met him before, but I just don't think he brings anything to the team, honestly. And I think that when you have someone like that, it's almost like it's like a distraction, because you're revolving everything around this person. You're building around this person. You have to give them the ball. It's like they're a huge, like, just burden, you know, by being like the star on your team. And I think that's what ultimately caused the demise, honestly.
Not to mention he's a ball stopper in a league that has transitioned to movement offense. He's almost like a relic, yet he's still effective as a one-on-one isolation scorer, but he's almost a relic because the league has transitioned to more movement and transition basketball, and Carmelo is just a ball stopper. Plus that no trade clause.
It's also I play basketball myself, and you know, when you're in the gym and you have the guy that's going to score every point on your team, and you just pass him the ball, you guys will score a lot of points. But you know how many times I've lost with that guy to like less talented players, and I'm like, how did I lose when I have this guy that can dunk on everybody? Because it's not. It's really. It sounds so like basic, but it's not about that. It really is about teamwork. It really is about, you know, and people get impressed because they're like, oh, how can you talk bad about Melo? He scored, you know, 35 points in a quarter. And I'm like, okay, but we lost. He scored 35 points in a quarter, but we lost. But I'm also like, we would have also scored those 35 points had he not been there. Maybe it would have been spread out a little bit more, you know. So it's great that he could do it. Like the Knicks are great for Melo's stats. But, like, as a fan, you don't really care about that. You want wins, you know? You want to make the playoffs.
We cover the Celtics. We have a sports network credentialed, et cetera, et cetera. So I was up in Boston for the Devin Booker game where he scored 70. I covered that game. And, again, it's another situation. It's a situation where you score 7. And let me tell you, that was 73 points because the refs waved off a shot that was good, I'm telling you. But that was 70 points in a game that the Suns lost, right? So who will remember it really in the long run? But it was pretty awesome. Celtics
will remember it. It's great.
It's great.
It doesn't. As a fan, you know, it's not making the playoffs. It's like it's annoying too, because once you reach that point where you know the season is over, you just don't want to watch anymore. So now my season got cut short because, like, what am I watching for? To see what's his name, Baker, like, be the point guard and like work on his outside game? No, I don't care about that, you know?
That's pretty expensive to watch D-League basketball, right?
No, exactly. Like, you're watching a D-League team now and they started off a real NBA team. You know, I love Derrick Rose, and
why?
And I kind of didn't like Noah. Like, you know, he wasn't like. But I love Derrick Rose, though. I think that was a great decision.
Really?
I just think I do. I don't mind him. I still see when he was playing, there was still so many things that made him so different from other NBA. Nobody can do what he does still. Like, the way he plays.
That's the anomaly, because he's such a head case. I mean, on a smaller scale, we dealt with that with Rondo. The Celtics dealt with that with Rondo for years on a smaller scale. Derrick Rose is so frustrating because he has such a unique talent, and yet his brain, his head, isn't wired right.
Well, but like from what I saw this season, you know, his injury didn't even really affect him. He missed one game because of some weird stuff.
But the dude has got to the dude's got to totally have a renaissance in his reputation, or he's never going to get paid what he should get paid again. So he almost needed to do this.
Vinny,
I'm not. Yeah.
We need to get you a Knicks podcast.
Oh my God, are you kidding me? Do you know how?
I know. Well, I have a podcast, but no. I have old girls that follow me, so they don't care.
That doesn't matter. The girls love the Knicks, man. Are you kidding me?
So
are you kidding me?
Nah, not the ones.
So the girls,
not the ones that you're.
so Vinny, the girls love you. Now this has got to be from your time on the Jersey Shore. How have you managed to be so successful coming off of that show, where others from that show, and I don't want you to rip anybody, have struggled?
Ty, hold on a second, because I'm now currently unfollowing Vinny because I don't want to be a fan. No, I'm not. I'm just kidding.
You're my biggest groupie.
Yeah. I followed just now. Go ahead, Ty.
You could test the climate of what you like. If I because I can talk. I'm pretty versatile. I can talk about The Bachelor as much as I can talk about the Knicks. So when I talk about The Bachelor, every tweet gets 2,000 retweets. And if I say something about the Knicks, it's just crickets. So I'm just like, all right.
Okay, so what we need to do is launch a Bachelor podcast and have talk for 10 minutes about the Bachelor and 20 minutes about the Knicks. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm gonna call it Bachelor and Knicks.
There you go. Or do a podcast about the Bachelors on the Knicks, right?
There you go. I like this. See, now we're making money, man.
Yeah, we're making money.
We're making money doing something easy.
So Vinny, I asked you.
Answer your question. Yeah.
How have you been so successful?
No. I wouldn't say that anybody is not successful because, even you gotta really look at what people are doing, and some people, I see that, Mike situation and other people, they've been on so many other shows. Some of them that are reality show spin-off shows, those shows, right? The marriage boot camp, couples therapy, and Big Brother, and all those things. Those things pay money, So eventually, you kind of, I guess, develop you get paid, So you're at least able to get some kind of income going. So I wouldn't call them, and as I'm older now, that's what I see as success. If you're able to put bread on the table. So some of them are still doing that and still getting income. Some people are just kind of laying low and I guess just taking it as it comes. With me, and some people are doing probably very well. I think Nicole has shows and stuff.
Right.
Jenny and everybody. So with me though, I've gotten offers to do stuff like that, and I'm a huge comedy nerd. I've been in improv classes from Jersey, or taking classes at the Upright Citizens Brigade in New York, and when I was at the peak of my fame, because I knew that I just wanted to study comedy and acting, and I wanted to keep this going. So I always put my ego aside. I would go from hosting the MTV Movie Awards to standing on a chair, clucking like a chicken, because with 6 improv nerds, because that's more important to me, So what I do now is I keep doing that. I keep focusing on my passion, because I feel like if you focus on your passions, even if they don't make money in the moment, good things will come to you, and that's kind of what's happened to me. I've gone a year or years with nothing going on, and I'm just wow, this sucks. Is it all over? But then I'll pitch a show or something that is authentic, and I feel those skills that I was trying to hone, they come in handy at that point and everything, and then it's just kind of just work, So my advice, to anyone listening or whatever, is just keep on. If you just keep on in the moment, working on your craft or whatever, the good things will just come to you eventually,
Great advice.
That's great advice.
And
really good advice.
I got to tell you,
it happened. It literally happened. It sounds cheesy, but I had nothing going on. You know, you're coming off of this show, and you know, now we're pitching other ones. And and the Vinny and Ma show is a huge passion of mine, and it's like something me and my mom do. But I still plan on. I hope to have a comedy show. I hope to host a show. You know, and I go up for things, and some things I'm really close at getting, and I don't. Some things I just say get door slammed in my face, and then some things work out. You know, so
hey, Vinny, we need to wrap this up. So once again, where can we find your show, and what's next for you?
I would say, because it's funny because they're throwing them up randomly on Cooking Channel. So they're on Cooking Channel. Maybe if you go to if you look up Vinny and Ma on the website, they might have like rerun dates. But I would say just keep an eye out for it on the website on cookingchannel.com, and you'll see that Vinny and Ma Eat America. And then if you just follow me everywhere, Vinny Guadagnino. I know my name is. I never changed my name. I don't have a stage name, so
thank you.
Google it; it'll come up.
Yeah, Google it however you think it's spelled.
Yeah, Google it however you think it, and then they'll correct it. Yeah.
Vinny Guadagnino, Nick, from Vinny and Ma Eat America. That was a lot of fun.
That was a lot of fun, and I meant like what I said. I mean, I think that there are a lot of parallels. You experience it, I experience it, and it is good to see something that's lighthearted and versus everything else there is to watch on television today, which is so serious and scary all the time.
Exactly, and what I really like about Vinny and Ma Eat America is it shows a family together, right? There's so much talk nowadays, well, not just nowadays, for a long time, about how the family never does anything together. Everybody's in. I remember you and I on a trip to L.A., and we're near the Santa Monica Pier at a restaurant, dining at a fine restaurant near the Santa Monica Pier. And I was looking over at this table. It was a family of four. Mom and dad were on their phones, and the kids were on their phones at this table. Yeah. So to see a show which shows the love for a son and his mother as they travel the country and experience these great cuisines, that does my heart good. I think we need more of that, and hopefully the show will get extended to a second season.
Now, while you're saying that too, now, I mean, still having my fingertips on the business, but having been in the business for so long, every table that has families, I mean, instead of disciplining your children, they throw a DVD player in front of them, or a cell phone or an iPad. I mean, I remember the days, dude. If I messed up in a restaurant, my mother grabbed me by the arm and I sat in the car while the family ate dinner, and I could scream all I wanted. Right, but it's sad. There's no interaction, and the parents, you could tell they're just exhausted. They just want 15 minutes where the kids aren't screaming.
That's it.
And it's the world's got to slow down. Got to slow down.
It does. The name of the show is Vinny and Ma Eat America. It's on the Cooking Channel. Look for it. I hope it gets a season 2. And Nick, before we go, got to pay some bills. Let's talk Blue Apron, man. The meals have been fantastic of late.
I have literally, Ty, I'm not kidding. I have been planning my grocery order around the Blue Apron delivery coming, because it kind of takes care of all the proteins and the produce. I don't need to get all that at the grocery store now. But I've also been kind of eating more at home a little bit more and participating with friends and family, which is fun.
Right.
Man.
You get to prepare the meals together. It's great food, fresh, farm to table, outstanding meals. Blue Apron, you've got to try it today, and you can do it for free, can't you, Nick?
You could, Ty, and this month you could try all this for free, like Ty's saying: spinach and fresh mozzarella pizza with olives, peppers, ricotta, salata. Ty, you are a pizza junkie.
Oh, love it.
Sweet and sour salmon with bok choy, Parmesan crusted chicken, baby broccoli, fontina paninis. Gotta love that. All of it. You could get 3 free meals and free shipping. So you would get a selection of one or multiple of those items. All you have to do is go to blueapron.com/beatsandeats. 3 free meals, free shipping.
And let's wrap this up, Nick. But before we go, let's give out our social media. I'm at Coog88.
Coog. I'm still at CLNS_Nick. And speaking of still, the Beats and Eats Twitter handle is still, it's so tricky, it has me stuttering, Ty.
It's at Beat, the letter N Eats. And Nick, let's
man.
Scott Mitchell close the lounge.
Let's get out of here.
The virtual lounge is now closed. You can stay, you just can't stay here. For Beats and Eats, I'm your bartender, Scott Mitchell. Until next week, hey, stay cool.